Hey guys, today we are going to be making a Feng Shui salt cure. So this one is about 3 months old because I didn't want to wait for the Lunar New Year to try it, but it's great because I can show you now what it looks like after 3 months. So we have a Lunar New Year coming up in 2 weeks time, and that is when you traditionally make these salt cures. So I'm just going to do them in jam jars because that's what I have today. I'm all about reduce, reuse, recycle. This was an old mason jar that I've had for years, so I was happy to throw that out. So basically, here's what you need. Jam jars, sea salt. I've actually got some moon water here, so I'm going to make one with moon water, one with normal water. Then we've got 3 options for the coins. You can use your traditional Feng Shui coin. You can use washers that you might have out in your shed. Or if you're not in Australia, because Australia doesn't have pennies, you can use pennies. I'm actually thinking, seeing as maybe everybody can't get the Feng Shui coins, these 2 I'm going to do today with the washers and the pennies. And then when I make more next week, or in 2 weeks time for the Lunar New Year, I'll make them with the coins, and I'll try and label all of them. Now, another option that I'm going to do on these is to get some red ribbon. I don't have red ribbon, but I did have red embroidery red. So I'm just going to, sorry guys, I have not had much time to set this up today. I'm just going to tie this onto the jar, and what that does is it helps trap the energy and contain the negative energy. That is one. Maybe I'll get a biro and I'm going to write coins just so we know the difference. And what I'm planning on doing is doing little like daily, weekly, monthly updates on these. So this one will be washers, and I've asked everyone over on socials for any questions and stuff they may have. One of the questions was, can we reuse everything? The answer to that is no. These are going to be containing all the negative energy that you gather up from your house, and you don't even want to touch these. That's why the one I just showed you has kitchen paper all around it, so that I'm not touching it when I'm handling it. You can use disposable gloves. I just am big on reduce, reuse, recycle, so I don't actually have disposable gloves. So that's my second one. Plate or kitchen paper. I'm going to go ahead with a plate this time. Stick that on that. Get your salt. And then you're just going to fill it. Might even put a bit more in. This is only my 2nd or 3rd time doing these, so like I'm winging this. We weren't actually taught this one on our course. I've done modern Feng Shui. So you place, in this case we're using the washers. I like to kind of do 1, 2, 3, 4 and then 1 in the middle. And what I've actually got some that are all the same. There we go. And then you top it up with water. And all you do then is you place that. And I'll place mine here in my office. And you leave it there for a year. And that's it. Get your salt. If you're using the Feng Shui coins, you place them up the way, like that, where you've got 4. This time we are using pennies. Oops. And this one we're going to top with moon water. and let's see what that does. Hey guys, so really sorry I got interrupted, had to go to the yard. I'm now covered in concrete residue, but I wanted to get back in here and finish this video. So I've just done a close-up of the coin one. Let's talk Q&A. So I've had a couple of comments come through. Okay, Jess wanted to know, why shouldn't you touch it? Or is the paper towel just there to protect the surface it sits on in case it does overflow? The answer to that question is both. You don't want to touch it because it harnesses all the negative energy collected, and as you can see, this one here has only been going for 3 months, but you can see like it's just starting to crust up on the side. So you can imagine another 9 months how much that's going to overflow. You can use a plate. One thing I will say though, you guys know I love working with these mirrored plates for candles. I actually had a proper mirror one and I broke it. But these are awesome because when you put a candle on it, they amplify the energy. Now, you would think, let's amplify the protection, but it will amplify the negativity. So no mirrored candle protectors. Just use a plate, use some paper towel. If you are using paper towel, make sure you're using it in a way that you are not touching it. I'll get to disposal in a minute because I'll go through all the questions first in case I have to refer back to this again, but I am going to dispose of these today. So that was Jess's question. Do you have to throw out the Feng Shui coins after, and can you use small jars? That's from Manifesting, who I believe Joanne is her real name. Apologies if I've got it wrong because we've kind of become friends on the internet, but I'm so used to seeing her username. And then we're on the Gypsy Loon Facebook group together. So, again, as you can see here, you cannot see the coins. You can kind of see that there's one over there. You throw out this whole thing. This is like toxic, essentially, because it's so full of negative energy. So what you want to do is get a baggie and put it in, the whole thing. And like I said, I'll talk about that in a second. And then she asked about using small jars. I mean, small jars should work the same. You might just need to change it up more often because depending on the negativity, it might just crystallize quicker. I feel like somebody else asked me a question. Jess asked me the same question about can you reuse stuff. Okay, so that was all the questions that I was given. Again, look, I don't follow traditional Feng Shui. I follow modern Feng Shui. I don't like to stress people out. I like to double down on the positivity. That's the way I was taught. Let's not look at the negativity. Let's not stress about certain auspicious days and certain auspicious rooms. Hey guys, sorry, got interrupted there with one of the kids. So, you throw out the whole thing. I studied with the School of Intention, and she doubles down on positivity. She doesn't try to think of lack being lack. She just says, let's focus on the positive and fix what we can, and let's not stress about what we can't. So I started this in October because I didn't want to wait until February. It's traditionally done on a Lunar New Year, which is this year, the 17th of February. And yes, in traditional Feng Shui, there would be certain rooms in the house where you would place it. In modern Feng Shui, where do you want to place it? Like, I'm keen to place one of these in every single room of the house and just see what happens over the course of a year. That's the way I'm thinking. What else before I dispose of it? Oh yeah, so you'll see that, as I said at the start, I've put a red ribbon around it, and I haven't on this one because the red ribbon symbolises containing the energy within the jar. And we'll see with the moon water, I'll add the moon water to that one. Me touching that today is not a problem because it hasn't crystallized, it's still fresh, it hasn't really absorbed any negative energy yet. The other one. So we'll see. I'll do a couple of check-ins to dispose of. get a bag. You can wear disposable gloves if you want. I'm happy enough holding it with paper towel. If you did have a plate under it, you would dispose of the plate as well. Op shops are great for this if you don't have a plate that you don't want to spare at home. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Do not go out and buy something new. Go to the op shop and get something that looks lonely, that looks like nobody else would pick it up. Bag, put it in the bag, tie it up. You don't want to have any of that spill in your wheelie bin if you can help it. So tie it up, and then and huge tip, you do not want to dispose of it on the Lunar New Year. You want to get rid of it before the Lunar New Year, because this might sound there you go. This might sound funny, but because, you know, Feng Shui is all about keeping your energy clean, decluttering, letting go, all of that. But they have a big thing about not cleaning on the Lunar New Year, because if you do clean, you're not giving that new energy a chance to settle in your house. So it's a big no-no to clean. It's great to deep clean the day before, but like they say, even on the Lunar New Year, don't wash your hair. Yeah, so I will, now that we've done the salt cure, and I'll get that out to you guys, we'll start to look at other tips and tricks now for the next couple of weeks on other things you can do before the Lunar New Year. So I hope that helped, and I'm looking at doing a lot more content again this year on YouTube. I do have some other videos, like I've got an hour-long video on how to Feng Shui a vision board. I've got one on like command position placement. I've got the salt burn. I think I've got vinegar cleaning. I'm going to be doubling down on all the basics. I want to do a lot more workshops this year and even start to do some consultations. So let's see how it goes. It's just gone 441, 14 and 41 seconds, so I'm gonna let it go there, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers!